Hey, what's going on, everybody? So we are here live, and yeah, just waiting on my guest to show up. Hopefully, that's going to happen. So until then, we'll just kind of go over this. This is going to be a little clip, and we'll stop and discuss about it. Oh, what's up, Solid? How's it going, man? Appreciate stopping in, yo. Stopping in. So this is called Reaching for the Stars. Instead, we fell down the tube. Staging journey, strange journey indeed. Let's check it out.
Mr. Vernon Myers.
This spring, Dr. Werner von Braun, director of NASA's Marshall Space Center, said, early next year, we'll flight test the huge three-stage Saturn V rocket.
Scared you, eh? Right? No, it's me. I'm here. It's all good. It's all good. Hopefully not too bad. Hopefully not too bad. So, Werner von Braun. What's up with Werner von Braun? Let's check him out.
Which will transport 3 Apollo astronauts to the moon. The Saturn V launch vehicle will place a payload of more than 250,000 pounds into Earth orbit. Now that's the equivalent weight of 25 of the largest mobile homes permitted on our highways. 25 of those huge house trailers measuring 10 feet in width and 60 feet in length.
Howdy.
The Apollo Saturn is being developed initially for the manned lunar program. It represents the culmination of the growth in technology that will enable men to leave the planet Earth, travel through space some 238,000 miles, land on another heavenly body, and then return safely home. The techniques developed to accomplish this feat may be used for traveling through space over long periods of time to explore other planets. Now, this amazing progress in space finds the American people less than well prepared to comprehend its social impact. Scientists maintain a dialogue with scientists, quite properly to be sure. But there remains a much-needed job of indoctrinating our public with the consequences of cosmic communication and the inevitable changes in our life, in our culture, our philosophies, our economy, our markets. Radical revisions in our total society. Now, one means of preparing ourselves for the future is to educate by entertaining. The following film describes an unusual motion picture now being produced in London for release all over the world starting early in 1967.
Oh, by the way, here I'll show you. So yeah, I'm all set up to go over here on Werby. Hopefully our guest will show up today. That would be awesome. But yeah, I'll stop over here. What we're going to go through, I really dig this guy's channel. I think it's pretty cool. Oh, did Cubic fake? Oh, I wonder if he faked the landing, right? Yeah, we all wonder. Wondering minds want to know. Unfortunately, like I have my cam set up on Werby, and I got that prompt up, so that's what's going on over there. So we're gonna go back over here and finish up this guy's video. This guy's video over here, if you guys want to check him out, I followed him for some time. This is The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. He moved to Oregon, and I really like the way this guy thinks and talks. He gets pretty deep, and he comes across well. His editing skills are really cool, and he does really outstanding videos. But hopefully this could be a good little buffer until we get to our guest, who hopefully will be showing up. Also, rumors Walt Disney was happened to be in the room, right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All those guys are in cahoots with each other. Absolutely.
There remains a much-needed job of indoctrinating our public with the consequences of cosmic communication.
Hey, solid? How's the audio sound, the mix? You hear it okay? Hear the voice and all that?
Radical revisions in our total society.
To accomplish the effect of weightlessness,
Alice.
cameras are placed in radically unorthodox
Right.
mounts. Optical engineers had to design equipment which would meet the requirements of Kubrick's bizarre and incisive imagination.
Left side of the speaker only. Thanks, man. Let me see if I can mess with that. Check headset.
3,000 miles
okay.
to the west
Yeah.
of the Grumman Aircraft Engineering Corporation on Long Island, New York, work continues around the clock. Here, the Lunar Excursion Module,
Thanks,
known
man.
as
I
LEM,
appreciate that.
is under construction.
Thanks for the input.
It will take 2 American astronauts onto the surface of the moon.
That should be better.
Arthur Clarke, co-author of 2001: A Space Odyssey, was invited to observe the LEM's progress and comment on the events leading to placing a man on the moon.
You're awesome, dude.
We're in the final assembly building of the LEM, the Lunar Excursion Module, which will take 2 American astronauts down to the surface of the moon. And in 2001, Stanley Kubrick and I have set ourselves several objectives. We hope to convey to the public the wonder and beauty and promise of the new age of exploration which is opening up before the human race. We want to convey the message that our Earth is perhaps not the only abode of life.
Oh.
Our sun, the sun that shines on this planet, is one of 100 billion circling in the Milky Way.
And who wrote this dialogue
How
you're
many of
reading?
those shine upon our equals or our masters out there in the depths of space?
I like this hat this guy's wearing. Look at this. He's like a cross between like a pastry chef and a lab coat with this funky little tie.
That's the question that 2001 asks and seeks to answer.
Looks like those guys are working at a bakery.
A full-size model of the Lunar Excursion Module is the setting for a visit and conversation between Arthur Clarke and Tom Buck of Look magazine.
I've actually lived like right across from the VAB. That's where I graduated high school, and been out there numerous times, seen these things in real life. And I was also a welder for many years, did a lot of torch work, and I know what it takes to torch heavy duty construction, right? So I would regularly cut through like 1-inch thick steel by hand with a torch. And honestly, I would run my torch. It was with propane, not acetylene, but just propane. And the heat was around 1800 degrees, and I could cut through 1-inch steel. So if they're saying that it's like 2000 degrees out there in the belt, this thing would have just disintegrated. Interesting. But I digress. Let's carry on.
Well, here we are on the LEM ship, and one can almost imagine we're on our way to the moon, or we've arrived at the moon, as a matter of fact.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
hard
exactly.
to realize
They are
that in a few
balloons.
years an American astronaut will be looking through this window out onto the lunar surface. And what we are doing in the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey is showing some of the things that will develop in the world of the future as a result of our present first steps into space.
Arthur, in one of your earlier books, you indicated that people are space conscious, but not space minded. What is the distinction?
So, you know, the exploration of the universe is much more than a contest between 2 mid-20th century powers. It's really the next stage in the evolution of mankind. I'm sure that the men who built the first boats out of reeds and logs never imagined
You're sure? Really, dude? Like you were there?
the ocean-going commerce of today, or the great nations beyond the sea. And similarly, the men who started the conquest of the air only a lifetime ago couldn't have conceived of the great jets that are now roaring through the skies. Well, what we're starting now with our drive into space is the next step in evolution.
Now, here's my question to that is like, so the guys who were building the Reed boats may have been around the same time that they were building those crazy megalithlifts like Machu Picchu, where these stones are fastened in a way you can't even like slide a hair in between them. The architecture is just phenomenal, and they still stand the test of time. And then you see architecture like stonework around that era that they're saying like 300 years later or whatever, and it looks like garbage that's like built on top of it. It's just like all this mortar and stones and stuff. So that was super advanced technology there had to have been to build those ancient megalithlifts back then. And that could have totally been around the time that they were doing the boats out of the thatch. And that guy doesn't even know if boats were built back then, because if they were built out of those materials, there wouldn't be any evidence of it today. They may have been super advanced, but here we go.
On the moon and planets are the new frontiers which our age needs so desperately. The next generation will explore the planets, bringing back new knowledge, answering old questions, and of course asking fresh ones. And after the explorers will come, as they always do, the colonists, reshaping our neighboring worlds with the tools of future science. About half a century ago, the great Russian space pioneer Tsiolkovsky said, "Earth is the cradle of mankind, but you cannot live in the cradle forever." And that is very true, and out here among the stars lies the destiny of mankind.
And that right there, see, that kind of sums it up for me right there. So this one cat is basically just agreeing with this other cat wrote down a long time ago. And then now that they two agree, now it's doctrine in like law, and it has to be so. Isn't that kind of how we've kind of formulated our theology today, and our thoughts and how we think and approach things in a scientific way that we were just told, like teachers, right? Our teachers basically don't really know any more knowledge than what they've went to school and were just taught. So if they were taught bad stuff or like stuff that wasn't true, to them that was their truth. That's what they were taught. We're only as smart as what we have learned from like others and what's been passed down. What really should be going on, and what I try to stress on my kiddos, is critical thinking skills. Question everything. I mean, yeah, we have our senses, sight, feeling, hearing, smell, and touch. We have our minds, and we can see things, and then really kind of understand what people are saying. Man, take the test, pass the test, but you don't necessarily have to take it for truth. Even though it possibly could be truth. Maybe there's a little bit of truth in there. Maybe there's a lot of truth in there. Maybe none of it is true. But, does it resonate? Does it feel right? Critical thinking all the way. There you go. Yeah. Oh, that's heavy. So is that his caretaker, his old man? You can tell this guy's like on his last legs. Pretty interesting imagery right here. I feel like that. I felt like that this morning a little bit. It's all resty.
So the exploration of the universe is much more than a contest between two mid-20th century powers. It's really the next stage in the evolution of mankind. I'm sure that the men who built the first boats out of reeds and logs never imagined the ocean-going commerce of today, or the great nations beyond the sea. And similarly, the men who started the conquest of the air only a lifetime ago couldn't have conceived of the great jets that are now roaring through the skies. Well,
maybe they had flying machines way back when, and then all that stuff got destroyed, man. We just don't know.
We're starting now with our drive into space is the next step in evolution.
gonna let this roll for a little bit, and yeah, see if I can get this guy online. Be right back.
Somebody left a comment recently saying something to the effect of, "You sound like you're on the verge of a mental breakdown," or sounding burned out or something to that effect. So I don't know if a 9-minute intro is a sign of being on the verge of a mental breakdown. Maybe. But honestly, I feel like I've been on the verge of a mental breakdown for going on almost 20 years now, so it's kind of par for the course by now. But honestly, I would have wanted to play a lot more clips from this film that I just came across called A Look Behind the Future. That was made in 1966 about 2001: A Space Odyssey, and talking about it in the context of the upcoming Apollo mission. This editor for Look magazine coming right out of the gate saying, we need to indoctrinate the public about all the societal changes that the space age is going to bring about. And then you have Arthur C. Clarke actually sitting in the LEM telling you point blank that it's about so much more than a clash between two superpowers. This is about the evolution of man. And he's publicly saying this, before Apollo or 2001 came out, so it really wasn't veiled ever. But there you go, it's like,
Apollo.
What do you think one small step for man, a giant leap for mankind means?
What does it mean? That's a good question.
They're talking about the evolution of man.
Okay. But what do you think it means?
But yeah, it's amazing. It's definitely worth watching if you haven't seen it yet, because they go into all the different corporations who were involved in the movie project, from IBM and GE, and all this collaboration with NASA, and then all the media attention and unprecedented coverage that it was getting at the time. It's pretty in your face that it's like, yes, they're acknowledging that this is propaganda. It's all intertwined.
Everything is.
To go from being space conscious to space minded.
Space conscious to space minded. So that's been in the works for what? 50 years now? Plus?
The interesting thing is when you think back to the 2001...
Hey, Steph!
Hello there.
How are you? How are you? Yeah, just waiting on a guest to show up, so I'm just doing like a little buffer video here. How you doing? You still got the kiddos?
Movie and the mythology of that, and then the progression of the quote-unquote real space travel. The side of the predictions having to do with technology, communications, AI, making internet calls, things like that, video conferencing. All that side.
That's like James Bond stuff right there, man. How classic, dude. That's cool.
If it has actually panned out beyond what their predictions even really could conceive of at the time. And yet the side of actually walking around on other heavenly bodies are putting people into orbit or into the solar system. Obviously.
Holy smokes, really? Are you okay? How did... was it just like mellow stuff, or was it like serious? Rumble 2. Wow, man. Yeah, I didn't feel anything today. That's gnarly. Well, we may have to switch over there and check that out real quick. Are you okay though, Steph?
Even according to the believers, it's like...
Yeah, tsunami warning. That's good.
They have to try and wrap their heads around why we went to the moon and then never went back for 50 years. and lost all the data, lost all the ability to even do that somehow. Okay, but I'm not getting off on that. But yeah, this whole film right here just kind of summarizes quite a bit of so much of the stuff I've been looking into. The use of media and entertainment as propaganda, the spreading of essentially transhumanist and illuminist ideology, a Gnostic evolutionary belief system.
Every Christmas there's some kind of earthquake. Hopefully it's not our turn. How did you get a phone call to the moon? Our internet is way better than back then. I still can't even go outside without bringing the box closer. Who's your guest? Oh, it is Chase. So be interesting. Merry Christmas, brothers and sisters. Oh, top feed. Coco, what is up, Coco? Thanks for coming by. I appreciate that. Thanks for the lemon.
Posing as science and science fiction, but these things working in tandem to propel people to what really is a drastic change in society and thinking and ways of living and accepting norms of dependence on technology and artificial intelligence. I mean, these things are not science fiction now.
Howie Jew is.
That kind of takes us to the whole issue of algorithms
I have the kids
and
and my little
social
ones.
media and YouTube, and I have gone ahead and started
I'll watch the replay. See you later. Thanks for stopping in, Steph.
I haven't uploaded anything to it yet.
Thanks for stopping in. We'll see you
But
later.
I'm going to start doing that. Probably not every one I've ever made, but I'll try to get as many out there as seem still relevant. But overall, whatever happens, I'm thankful for the opportunity that I've had to interact with so many of you and share these ideas and absorb new ideas and be challenged and really try and come to terms with the idea that there's no curvature to the Earth or that no one's ever been to space. And all
kind
the
of interesting
ramifications of science and physics. And it's been quite a journey. So
clean slate and new life. Oh, dude. Well, congratulations. I hope that goes well for you, man. Yeah. Much prayers and love, and hopefully, everything goes your way. I'm not really down with the New Year this year. I've done a lot of New Year's things. This year I started yesterday, I think, which is the start of the days getting longer. Not that I'm into kind of the New Age salsa stuff or whatever, but and Leaving California. There's a song by that. Pretty good, an old folk song, an old hippie song. It was pretty cool. Leaving California. Or was it Led Zeppelin? I think Led Zeppelin did a song, Leaving California. But wow. Well, best of luck and much prayers. Absolutely. So the water sucks in Louisiana.
Whether December 10th comes and goes and nothing massive, or, if it's just gone. I've kind of been half ready for that possibility for, several years now, so.
I'll have to check out the earthquakes here in just a second.
But I'm going to keep on,
to you guys as well. Thanks.
And probably just doing my thing here, as long as it's possible to do so. So we'll just have to see what happens.
And that's basically it for all of us. We're just gonna have to see what happens, man. Life just keeps going and going until it doesn't.
And there's so many things that I could ramble on about, as I have many times in the past, about archetypes and occult symbolism and all the deception, which gets so much of the focus, and all this research, but really I just felt drawn to read from scripture. Right. So I figured what better place to go than Isaiah chapter 40.
Isaiah chapter 40. What you got? What you got?
Who has measured the waters in the hollow of his hand?
Oh,
measured
sure,
heaven
dude.
with
We can
a
do that.
span, and calculated the dust of the earth in a measure.
There you go.
Weighed
there
the
you go,
mountains
Coco.
in scales, and the hills in a balance. Who has directed the Spirit of the Lord, or as his counselor has taught him? With whom did he take counsel, and who instructed him, and taught him in the path of justice? Who taught him knowledge, and showed him the way of understanding? Behold, the nations are as a drop in a bucket, and are counted as the small dust on the scales. Look, he lifts up the isles as a very little thing, and Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor its be sufficient for a burnt offering. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted by him less than nothing and worthless. To whom then will you liken God, or what likeness will you compare to him? The workman molds an image, the goldsmith overspreads it with gold, and the silversmith casts silver chains. Whoever is too impoverished for such a contribution chooses a tree that will not rot. He seeks for himself a skillful workman to prepare a carved image that will not totter.
Hey, people!
Hello there.
How's it going? How are you?
Have you not known? Have you not heard? Has it not been told you from the beginning? Have you not understood from the foundations of the earth? It is he who sits above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain,
Solid
and
Merry
spreads
Christmas.
them out like a tent to dwell in.
So is that like a solid Merry Christmas? Or is that solid Merry Christmas?
He brings the princes to nothing. He makes the judges of the earth useless. Scarcely shall they be planted, scarcely shall they be sown, scarcely shall their stock take root in the earth, when he will also blow on them, and they will wither, and the whirlwind will take them away like stubble. To whom then will you liken me, or to whom shall I be equal, says the Holy One? Lift up your eyes on high, and see who has created these things, who brings out their host by number, who calls them all by name. By the greatness of his might, and the strength of his power, not one is missing. Why do you say, O Jacob, and speak, O Israel, my way is hidden from the Lord, and my just claim is passed over by my God? Have you not known? Have you not heard? The everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, neither faints nor is weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the weak, and to those who have no might he increases strength. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint.
There you go, folks. Isaiah 40, 12 through 31. All right, well, trying to do a buffer here and hoping my guests will hop in. Oh, where are we at? Oh, over here. Hello, hello, hello. So, people, what's going on? How are you doing tonight? And Solid, I'm doing well, ma'am. Still stuck in Louisiana, sadly. My replacement has other plans without me knowing. Drinking that wonderful, beautiful, good water down there. I hear the water in Louisiana is like one of the best in the nations, but do a little bit of yeah, just hoping this cat will come by. stop in. It's not really. I know. I'm just making fun. Yeah. But all is still well here, man. Still, just getting by. Actually, the sun popped out today, which was like the first time in a couple of weeks, it seems like, which was nice. But Steph said something about volcanoes. No making with the funny stuff. I know this is supposed to be serious, and this is going to be a pretty serious conversation. Actually, you guys are supposed to be coming on, hoping that it's going to manifest. But yeah, in the meantime, if any of you guys want to jump on in, you're more than welcome, man. More than welcome to jump in, have a little chit chat. The link is down below, and it is mobile friendly. You just hit the link, and it's actually right there, but the link down below in Werby. Good job. Jump on in. And if not, that's cool. That's cool. I'm going to go look over here. We may bring this up about the earthquakes. See what we can find out. USGS. Now, supposedly, from what I was told, it'd be pretty interesting to search this also. Let's go up here. Oh goodness, look at these guys. I'm baking cherry Cradle mini cheesecake. Oh my gosh! Oh, that sounds so good. Mini cheesecakes. I'm going to listen and push my computer around while I finish getting those baseboards and nails holes perfect. There you go. Solid. Love to if I can have any privacy where I'm at. Oh man, I bet that's hard. So you're like a full and living thing, huh? Like taking care of something. It sounds delicious, people. It does sound really good. But yesterday started personally. Hopefully, I'll see how long you can go. I'm doing the alternate day fasting on the first day of after the whatever equinox or. And getting back on keto, no more sugar or sweets for a while, and one big meal within a 4-hour window every 48 hours. So we'll see how that goes. So what do we have here? We had a 6-0 off Push Hardy Canada. That's pretty heavy. And that's pretty close, man. Actually, oh, 2 of them right there. And how deep? They were like 10 kilometers. And then this was a 4-9, basically all in the same area. But see where the straights are right here? I wonder if we can zoom in. You can't see my cursor, can you? But if I can bring this up, I'll show you where I like to surf a lot. So some of the footage that I had in the past I don't have anymore because it was all stolen. Came from this south coast right here inside of the Strait of Juan de Fuchsia. Is pretty cool. I love surfing right in here. Beautiful. And this is the Olympic Peninsula. But anyhow, so those earthquakes, actually, if they had a tsunami, that would have like zipped right down there. May have been some good epic surf. I'm back. Sounds good. Turned out it was 5 quakes. Welcome back, Steph. Yeah, we were just kind of going over them. And Steph lives, you can't see my cursor. I wonder why it's not showing up. She lives over here in this island somewhere. Somewhere here, so. Looks like they'd be pushing a pretty good swell this direction. But I wonder if these are the rift lines that they're showing. The actual rift lines. That could be like the plate. Interesting. Oh, kids are at the dollar store. I got you. Yep, there were 5. So we had this little guy over here, which was a 4.9 and a 6.0. 6.0 is pretty 5.2, a 5.7 and a 6.0. Basically all at 10 except for that 4.9 was at 16. So there we go. If anything else spouts out before the night, maybe that's just enough. It needed to like vent off a little bit of energy, a little bit of steam. Hopefully. Those look like the big ones though. Let's go look at the Ring of Fire real quick while we're here. We got a 4.7 there. Those were pretty big actually. Where's this one? That's a 5.8. Over here off South America, another 5.8. I'm on the east side of Nanamu. I probably butchered that. What about the Alaska quakes? They are, yeah. Daily rumbles, bunch of them up there. Bunch of them up there. Look at all these guys. See, that was today. So we had a 3.5. Another one that was at 4.1. That was today. That one was today. That's a 3.0. Yep, you know, they're just letting off a little steam, doing what they do. And I remember this one guy talking about the oil, like, man, we got to watch out about sucking all the oil out of the ground because that's like the lubrication of the joints of our tectonic plates. Kind of an interesting theology on that. I found was like, well, yeah, so if you take all the lube out from our plates moving around, it's probably going to be pretty disastrous. But yeah, there we go. There was one in Washington State today too. They're not showing that one here in Washington. So let's go back and check it out. At least on the USGS anyhow. But they're known for not showing all of them, from what I can gather. Northern Alberta. Yeah, the ones in Texas and over in Oklahoma are just gnarly. They're crazy. And then those quakes, they've reported where there's like gas and stuff leaking out. People like take a lighter out of their faucet and it just like a flame comes out. Crazy stuff. From all that fracking right around this region. A little one here on the border of New Mexico and Arizona. A little guy. But that looks kind of quiet today anyhow. All right. Very, very interesting. Well, let's see what we can come up with while we are on standby. I'm going to give this guy a call. Give me just 1 sec. I'm going to pull up something to see if we can get stuff going. I want to bring up a little... Find a cool little video to put up. Put something up about Christmas. I know it's not a popular topic. But we're here for the truth. We demand the truth, do we? Yes. Okay, here's one. Okay. Where's this gonna open? Uh-oh! Whoa! No, not there. Oh. This is pretty interesting. We'll go here for a second. I look at Earth Tracker. Here's hoping this year's holiday quake is just these shifters. Yeah, I hope so. Where is that coming from? I must have hit something. I don't know where that noise is coming from. Sounds cool.
Billions of people celebrate Christmas every year
Oh, this
as
guy.
a time to commemorate the birth of Jesus Christ. People all over the world
I
bring
want to go check
evergreen
out
trees into their
your
homes.
suggestion here,
They decorate
Earthquake
them
Tracker.
with silver and gold, and then sometimes crown them with a star.
Cities decorate their streets with Christmas lights, and local merchants fill their shelves with extra merchandise, anticipating the rush of holiday shoppers. These gifts are carefully put under the tree as everyone waits for that special day, December 25th.
The Yule log is placed in the fireplace. Mistletoe is hung from the doorways and ceilings. And stories are told about a jolly old man in a red suit who travels the world in a flying reindeer sleigh, delivering special gifts to the good boys and girls.
Santa Claus, reindeer, mistletoe, the Yule log, decorating a tree, giving gifts, 12 days of Christmas. If it's about the day Jesus was born, why is this time called the Yule season? And why are there 12 days of Christmas?
Did Christmas observance come from the Bible, or does its observance predate Jesus Christ? Many cry, let's put Christ back in Christmas. But was Christ ever really in Christmas? Is Christmas Christian?
I can't find where that guy's
There is
talking.
no
That's
holiday
freaking
more
me out.
universally accepted as a religious occasion as the observance of Christmas. Christians and non-Christians alike observe the pageantry of the Yule season. But did you know that thousands of years before Christ, before there was ever anyone called a Christian,
Okay,
people
looks like
were
our guest
out
is
in
coming
the
on here
forest to cut down
pretty
evergreen
soon.
trees.
Cool.
They trimmed the branches, brought the trees into their homes, nailed them down.
I gotta
and
find where this guy's
decorated them with
talking.
gold and silver ornaments.
They exchanged gifts and sent greeting cards and played games and sang
Whoa,
merry
steps
songs
in an ice
to the
cream!
seasonal spirit. Although the celebration lasted for 12 days, the chief day was December 25th. All this
Thanks
took
for the
place
ice cream.
annually long before the birth of Jesus Christ. Jesus was not the central focus of this festival. In fact, he was not in it at all.
Oh, hold on.
Saturnalia was a time of merrymaking and exchanging of gifts. December 25th was also regarded as the birth date of the Iranian mystery god Mithra, the sun of righteousness. On the
Okay,
Roman
you guys
New Year,
hear that
houses
audio?
were
I have
decorated with
no
greenery
idea where
and
that's
lights
coming
and
from. I
gifts
cannot
for
find
giving
that
children.
source.
To these observances were added the
That's
German and
crazy,
Celtic
man.
Yule rites,
Where is that coming
food
from?
and good
Stop.
fellowship,
Stop,
the
stop,
Yule
stop.
log and the Yule cakes, greenery and fir trees, gifts and greetings.
Stop it, please.
All commemorated different
Please.
aspects of this festive season. Fires and lights, symbols of warmth and lasting life, have always been associated with the winter festival, both pagan and Christian. Encyclopedia Britannica, Volume 2, 1973.
Okay.
Why do we find
Sounds like he's
ourselves
trying to
following
take
such
Christmas out of Christmas to meet Christ out
How
of
can a
Christmas.
festival which predates Christ be
I'd like to
Christian?
find out where he's talking from.
Why do Christians observe a festival that predates Christ? Why are these things part of modern Christianity today? And where did they really come from?
Christmas and Easter, though the greatest festivals in the Christian calendar, are celebrated with customs that originated in superstition and heathen rites hundreds of years before Christ was born. Even the dates owe more to pagan practices than to the birth and resurrection of Jesus. It was not until the 4th century that December 25th was fixed arbitrarily as the anniversary of the
Okay,
Nativity.
that's gotta go down,
because the
that's gotta
pagan
go down.
festivals from which so many Christian customs spring were held around that time. Although Christianity has swept the world in a relatively short time, the missionaries faced an uphill task. The pagans were reluctant to give up their false gods and ancient practices. So the missionaries, unable to convert them easily to an entirely new code of worship, did the next best thing. They took the pagan festivals as they were and gradually grafted the observances of the new faith onto these festivals and the rites and customs surrounding them. December 25th was not called Christmas until the 9th century. Until then, it had been the midwinter feast.
Okay, kids are back. Be right back. All right, guys. Hey, I'm gonna.
Both of which took
This
place
is really
in late
bizarre.
December. Reader's Digest.
All right, stupid
Give
question.
me a
If
sec,
you had
bro.
to
Okay,
explain
we're
to
gonna have the guest
complete
on here in
stranger,
just a
if they were coming in and
second.
saw the Christmas tree in the house. What's that
We'll be
about?
right back.
What would you say?
Hold on.
I say it's about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Okay, and then how does that relate to his birth?
No, I really don't know.
Do you have the house decorated up?
Yes, sir.
If you had to explain to a total stranger who'd never seen Christmas, where's the Christmas tree come from? What would you say?
Comes from England, I think.
And what has that got to do with Christ, do you know?
I don't know. Maybe evergreen tree lives forever.
Okay, let's say somebody's from another culture and they'd never seen a Christmas tree. Could you tell them where that came from?
A Christmas tree farm?
Right, but I'm saying, where'd the tradition come from? If you were explaining to them, this is what we do on Christmas. Why do we do that?
To celebrate the birth of Jesus.
And then how does that relate to his birth?
I'm not real sure.
The 12 days of Christmas, do you know how that relates to the birth of Jesus?
No.
I've got a question. If you had to explain to a complete stranger, somebody that never knew the custom, where's the Christmas tree come from? What would you say?
Christ.
And how did that come through Christ? I mean, if let's say we're multicultural and somebody came from another culture, they're like, what is
Okay,
the
guys,
Christmas tree all about?
I'm going to
How
have
did
to
that
shut
come
everything down and come right back on. The guest is going to be on here in just 1 second. So if you would refresh, I appreciate you guys hanging out,
Let's
and we'll be
stop
right
and
back
think for a
online
moment.
momentarily.
Very few
Give
of
us
us
about
ever
maybe 2 or
reflect
3
on
minutes.
why we
So
do
after that,
what
I'll
we
have to
do,
shut down and
why
come
we
right back
follow
on.
the
All right.
customs we
Thanks a
do.
lot, man. We'll be right back.
We rarely